In today's episode, we are going to look at some recent statistics about what the averages are by age that people have saved for retirement. I have a lot of clients that absolutely think that they have, missed the boat. They don't have enough saved compared to everybody else. Well, my friend's got, $800,000 and I've only got 200. You're going to be absolutely floored by what the average person at different ages has saved for retirement. That's what we're going to look at today. Let's roll.
Welcome to the Safe Money Retirement Show with your host, certified financial fiduciary, Tim Wood. Tim is a retirement and income planning expert, best-selling author of Safe Money Retirement, Your Game Plan for Success, member of the exclusive Ed Slott Master Elite IRA Advisor Group, and founder of SafeMoneyRetirement.com. Tim uses an education-first approach with clients nationwide to ensure they understand their choices in planning their own safe money retirement. Tim focuses on wealth management, retirement income, tax and long-term care planning, and asset protection and growth strategies. And now, from the Safe Money Retirement Studio in Johnson City, Tennessee, your host, Tim Wood.
Welcome to the Safe Money Retirement Show. I'm Tim Wood, a certified financial fiduciary and asset and retirement protection specialist. Our topic today is how does your retirement savings stack up to what the rest of the country has done? So we're going to look at specific ages and what the averages are of what people have saved, and it is absolutely going to be eye-opening and shocking to some of you to what people have saved for retirement, what the average is, and then even what the top 90 percentile is. So we're going to look at that today. But first, if you don't already have a copy of my book, Safe Money Retirement, Your Game Plan for Success, what are you waiting for? We will send you a copy absolutely free with no charge and no obligation so you can start planning your own retirement by knowing what's available out there. Just give us a call. It's toll free from anywhere in the United States, 1-800-913-SAFE. That's 800-913-7233, or just log on to our website at safemoneyretirement.com and request your free copy right now. So what we're looking at today is how do your savings compare to other households? Why are we doing this? Because I get people all the time saying, I should have saved more. I don't have enough. Compared to my buddy Joe that's got $4 million, I'm, destitute. I hear that kind of stuff all the time. And I want people to really understand what the averages are and then even the top 90 percentile, how much they have. Now, all of these numbers are coming, it was from a very recent survey. It's called the Survey of Consumer Finances. It was done by the Federal Reserve, and it was done on October 18th, 2023. So relatively new data. I want to real quick go through the different ages and talk about what the average savings are for retirement savings. So this would be something in 401s, IRAs, TSPs, that kind of a plan, anything that's saved for retirement at different ages. So let's start at age 30. We expect it to be low between ages 30 and 34. The average is $4,700. $4,700 is the average between 30 and 34, with the 90th percentile having $100,000. So that's between 30 and 34. You get to 35, the average is $8,000. So between 35 and 39, the average is $8,000, and the top 90 percentile have $230,000 saved. Now we jump up to 40. Now we're starting to get a little bit closer to retirement age. Still, the average, the median in the country is $12,000 people have saved for retirement at age 40. 90th percentile, $330,000. Take that up one more to 45. The average only goes up to $19,000. 90th percentile doesn't go much higher. That stays at $380,000. Go up to 50 years old, the median now only goes up to $24,000. So 50 years old, 15 years away from the normal retirement age, the average in this country of retirement savings is $24,000 a year. Feeling a little bit better about your retirement accounts now? 90th percentile, that jumped up quite a bit in the 50s, up to 770,000. But again, that's the top 10%. Go to 55, so 55 to 59, that median stays exactly the same. So through the entire 50s, the average in the entire United States, the average person in their 50s, all the way from 50 to 59, is $24,000 saved for retirement. How can you retire on $24,000? I don't know. 90th percentile between 55 and 59 is down a little bit to 750. And then the last one on this is age 60. So now you're almost right at retirement. The median now has dropped all the way back down to $10,000. So at age 60, the average of everybody in the country has $10,000 saved for retirement. The average. Now, the top 10%, 1 million plus, obviously. And there's a lot in the middle. But there's also a lot lower because that's your average. So the reason I'm bringing all this up and all these numbers that really, okay, that's great. Well, that's them. That's not me. I want people to realize no matter what you've got, we can come up with a plan for you. It doesn't matter. You don't have to have $4.6 million to retire. You can have $460,000. You can have $46,000. We can come up with a plan based on where you are to get you to where you want to go. That's the secret to this whole thing. It's not how much money you have. That's the whole point to this episode. It's not how much money you have. It's about what your goals are and what we can do to get you there. There's got to be a starting point, and your starting point can be today. However much you have saved, however little it is or however big it is. We can start today. Let's make a plan. It also doesn't matter what age you are. Let's make a plan. If you are younger and you want to start planning ahead, great. Let's get together and let's start doing that. If you are already at retirement and you've got a big chunk, but you want to make sure it doesn't get lost in a market event, great. We can do that. If you're in your early 50s and you want to make sure you've got enough income so you can retire, great. Let's start a plan now that can grow at a guaranteed basis until you get to 60, 65, 70. Point being, you don't have to have enough, you don't have to have super wealth money in order to retire in the United States, because the average is so low that if we can get you above average, we can get you into some sort of a plan that's going to get you where you want to go in retirement. I just wanted to make sure that people understood that they don't have to have millions and millions and millions of dollars. That's not the average. Even the top 10% is only at 1 million. You've got to go way higher than the top 10% to get more than $1 million. And that's in total savings. That's everything. That's IRAs, 401ks, TSPs. That's everything added together. That's the top 10%. So where you are is where you are, right? I mean, that's where you are right now is what we need to worry about, and where we can get you from this point moving forward. So the whole point to this segment was, I don't want you to feel like you missed the train, you didn't get on the boat, you didn't do this, you don't have enough. Let's see where you are. Let's see what your expenses are going to be at retirement. Let's see what you're going to get in Social Security, and let's make a plan. Let's figure out for you what we need to do to get you where you want to be. What's your goal? What's your desired outcome in retirement? And let's make a plan to get you there. Whether it's guaranteed income, whether it's growth with no losses, whether it's long-term care, whether it's leaving a legacy. I could keep naming a whole bunch of things. Let's figure out what it is for you. Let's see what your starting point is. Where are you now? Where do we need to get you to? And make a plan to get you there. Whatever your starting point is, it's not necessarily a bad thing or a good thing. It just is what it is. Let's get together. Let's figure out where you want to go, and let's figure out how to get you from here to there. This is Tim Wood, your host of the Save Money Retirement Show. I'll be right back after this informative message.
The market goes up and the market goes down. It always has and it always will. But if you are in or near retirement, do you have the time to wait for the market to go through these cycles? Think about it. A 30% loss needs a 42% gain just to get back where you were. Having all your money invested in the market, in or near retirement, is like walking next to the edge of a cliff. What if you lose your step? What if the edge gives way? What if a strong wind blows you over the side? It's good to stay away from the edge of disaster in life, and when you're in or near retirement, avoiding disaster becomes crucial to your survival. Call us today to start protecting your retirement from the next market crash. Call 800-913-SAFE. That's 800-913-7233. Lose the stress of what could happen and start enjoying the benefits of a safe money retirement today. Call right now for your free information kit at 800-913-SAFE. That's 800-913-7233. Now back to more of the Safe Money Retirement Show with your host, Tim Wood.
Welcome back. I'm Tim Wood, your host of the Safe Money Retirement Show. I am a capital preservation and strategic income planning specialist. In today's case file, we're going to look at the story of Meredith. Meredith was one of the sweetest little old ladies that I've ever seen come in here. We sat and we just had the best conversation. I felt like I was talking to my granny, to be honest with you. It was great. What she needed specifically, she had a very specific thing she wanted. She had 3 grandkids. And when she was gone, she wanted each of those grandkids to get a certain amount of money. So we looked at several different ways. The challenge was that the first way and the way that would have been easiest and make the most sense would have been life insurance plans. But the challenge is she was already in her 70s, and getting a life insurance policy when you're in your 70s, if it's not impossible, it's very difficult and very expensive. So that really wasn't the best fit. So what we wound up doing is we wound up opening 3 separate fixed indexed annuity plans, no fees, no chance of losses, really good chances of growth. And in each one, the primary beneficiary, 100%, was going to be those grandkids. So she can every single year, and we're going to help her figure out how she wants her money to grow. Do you want it to grow in a fixed account based on what happens in a market index? However, we're just going to grow those 3 piles of money as much as we possibly can. And then whenever she passes, which I sure hope is a long time from now, but whenever she passes, all of that money that's in those accounts is instantly going to go to those grandkids. So, and all they're ever going to have to worry about paying taxes on is whatever growth it's had over what she's put in. So that's what we did for her. She left. She literally was almost in tears. She was so happy because now she knows, because she funded each one of these plans with $100,000. So no matter what, the kids are getting $100,000, but over time that $100,000 could grow significantly, and it's never going to go down. I mean, it's kind of like being on an elevator that only goes up. If the market's down, the elevator may stay on that same floor, but it's not ever going to go back down. So that's the kind of plan we got her into. She left, was absolutely ecstatic, knowing that each of her 3 grandkids were going to at least get the amount of money that she put in. And, you know, if we've got years to go, then hopefully significantly more. She left really happy. Now, how can this relate directly to you? Maybe you've got something very similar to this. Maybe one of your main goals is to make sure that you are leaving a legacy behind when you're gone. Now, it depends on your specific situation. I know you hear me say that all the time, but it really depends on your situation as to whether life insurance is going to be a good fit. Fixed index annuity is going to be a good fit. There's several other things that could be a good fit. Life insurance is the best plan if you can qualify for it, because with life insurance, for pennies on the dollar, you can buy coverage. For example, I've got a client that just got a $250,000 policy. One-time payment was $135,000, but they're younger and they're in really good health. So for them, literally, not quite, but 50 cents on the dollar, they're going to get the benefit that they want when they're passed, but they didn't have to put the whole amount in. For someone else like her, she's older, so we had to look at other options. So we have to look at individually where you're at, what's your physical, how healthy are you? We have to look at what your age is. We have to look at a lot of different things to try to make the best plan for you specifically. But how it would work for you is sit down. Let's sit down, have a fact finder, figure out what your goals are. What are you trying to accomplish? What do you have? What's your health? All of these different factors, and then look at all of the options and try to determine what's going to be best for you, show you all of your options. That's one of the things we here at Safe Money Retirement do. We're completely independent, so we're going to show you all of your options. Let's look at everything. Let's figure out what's going to allow you to get to what you want in your retirement and make a plan for that, so then you can have a happy retirement. Well, I'm about out of time, and I would like to thank you for listening to the Safe Money Retirement Show. If you're serious about your financial future, give me a call, and together we'll get your retirement savings on the fast track to accumulate while reducing exposure to market loss. Thanks for listening, and until next time at the same time, I'm Tim Wood reminding you to stay safe so you can step into a secure future.
You've been listening to the Safe Money Retirement Show with your host, Tim Wood. Find out how to contractually guarantee that your income in retirement is guaranteed lifetime income and not if-come. Avoid any future market losses, plan for the potential of long-term care, and make wise planning choices so you can have the retirement that you deserve. Call us now for your free copy of Tim's best-selling book, Safe Money Retirement, Your Game Plan for Success. Our toll-free number is 800-913-SAFE. That's 800-913-7233. Or log on to our site at safemoneyretirement.com for more information or to request your free book. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you online at safemoneyretirement.com. The preceding information does not represent tax, legal, or investment advice. Obviously, by contacting us now, you are only taking the first step toward protecting your retirement. No information presented today should be acted upon without meeting with a qualified licensed insurance professional. It's important that you read all insurance contract disclosures carefully before making a purchase decision. Interest and other guarantees in annuity contracts are subject to the claims-paying ability of the insurance carrier that issued the contract. The tax consequences of annuity income should be considered with the help of a licensed tax professional. Rates and returns mentioned on this program may vary based on state availability and are subject to change without notice.